Hello guys. Shocks is in fact correct. We have 7 out of 8 players. And there we go. Just wait the required minute for Phoenix Hub to do anything I want. Just waiting on Crush by the looks of things. But yeah, this is the lower bracket semi-final. So there are only 4 matches left in the tournament. So there's this one, there's the winner bracket final, lower bracket final, and the grand final. Yeah, I'll be interested to know what you guys think about this matchup, because we saw Snatch, his team, lose 3 very narrow games against Aiko's team, who probably considered the favourite for the tournament. Let me put that to 90. But obviously Polish have been a pretty strong team the whole duration. Made it far in the upper bracket. Can't remember who knocked them down. But yeah, this has all the hallmarks of a game that could go the distance. So we might be here for a while. I think it's a best of 5 actually. Let me check. Yep, best of 5. The maps are going to be Temple, Deck, Spacer, Nitro, Honk. First map pick was Polish, and then it will go to When is Amp. Here we go, Crush is in the server. HFs are called. Hang on, I'll take it back. It was a high. A high was called. There we are, now they're ready. Crush just worn up his aim. Been in the server all of 3 seconds and he's already hit a headshot with the amp. I'm good, thank you, Mikey. Need to go back to work today because it's no longer a holiday. Oh. Lots of headshots. Alright, here we go. Switch on over to the game. On Temple. This is a map that the old gangsters lineup back in UTPL days was really good at. A couple of those players on this squad. Actually, it might only be Sunade. Yeah, so maybe some of that old gangsters team DNA is still around, but we'll have to see. Yeah, seems like opinions are pretty split. Some people saying 3-0 for When is Amp, some people saying 3-0 for Polish. I feel like it'll be pretty even just based on that. Might be a 3-0, but games will hopefully be close. Temple's always a good map for close games. But look at this, 4 players from blue all over that first 100 armor. Looks like Alea will be the one to pick that one up. And presumably we'll pick up the next one. Generally, you want to give your 100 armor player the first 100 so that they can stay alone. But Alea's actually gone to help over at the belt. 2 players from Polish already there. Alea trying to hit combos, goes down. This belt's coming up. Oh, there we go. Snatch comes in just in the nick of time. Runs out of ammo, but will get himself onto the belt and jumps down to a shock rifle. Polish got the second 100 though, so pretty even trade. And Beck's looking like he's not long for this world unless he can hit some outrageous shots. But he can't. Snatch takes him down. But most of the armor that was just picked up is gone. Snatch setting up for this amp. 1v1ing Sunade at the top. Oh, the patient shot doesn't pay off. Oh, what? Hits it in the end. Just in time to get this amp. He does have boots as well. He's really low. But these boots afford him a lot of mobility and he can go and help out wherever he wants. But he's just handed the boots and the amp to Par, who almost dies himself. He has a sniper. I don't know why he's using double enforcer. Picked up a bunch of guns. And now he goes down to Crush. Crush going to use the last couple of seconds of this amp. Was actually dropped a sniper by Par. So pass, switch to the sniper just to drop it for an enemy. But in the meantime, that second belt went to Polish, went to Sunaid. Keleo got the 100 armor, so another 100, 150 trade. And nothing's up for a little while. Bit of a lull at this point in the game, usually after the second belt. This is a really strong 100 armor room control from Blue. They've had 3 or 4 players in here for through these pickups. 100 armor is very important on this map, but you don't want to overcommit because it's really out of the way. The sniper area is also really important, but having said that, there was tons of armor on Blue for a second there. And that's really important because the amp and the belt both coming up now. Bex eats a combo in the butt from Snatch. Snatch probably going to take this. Trying to thread his way onto it, but Bex actually spawned behind him. And Snatch is down to 10 HP. It's going to be another low HP amp grab if he takes it. He's got team support though. Elea's going for it. Switch over to him, but he's missed the jump. Or what is he? It wasn't even a jump. He just missed the walk. And now it's in the hands of Oleg. He's got himself the belt as well. And Polish, they're on this 100. It's coming up pretty shortly, so they should get it for free. Oleg. There we go, getting a couple kills with this amp run eventually. Bex did pick up that 100, so loads of armor going to Polish. And they were 1 point behind, now they're a few points ahead. Oleg up to a killing spree off the back of that amp belts play. And the next belt's coming up pretty soon, so is the 100. So opportunity for the team that's out of control to get one of these 2 major items. There's a big commit here onto the belt. Snatch is here alone, but he's done so much damage, and that combo onto Bex, knocking him off the belt, was crucial because that allows Snatch to steal it. And Crush got the 100 armor, so good play by Wenizamp. Even though Snatch went down there, he did so much distraction work, and his entire team were able to hold the 100 armor room on the other side of the map. Now it's back to a 2-frag game. This amp is the next big item to play for. There will be 100 before then, so it'll be interesting to see. Looks like it's par. He's there ahead of time. And this can happen ahead of amp fights on this map. Kind of lose track of the 100 armor, or one team might, and then gives it away for free. Snatch, always aware when this amp's coming up. He's doing the the Eiko carry strats. Always know when the amp's coming. And he's going to grab that one. Ooh. This belt's coming up as well, but I think Snatch, he just wants to do damage because he doesn't have guns. Oh, that rocket launcher was just stolen from him. None of these guns are up. Alea actually steals that away. There we go. Snatch finally able to get a gun, but he's down to 30 health now. He does still have boots, so he's very mobile, but needs to be careful. He's got 2 teammates with 100 armor though, so looking like a strong position for when is Amp, but more like where is Amp? Because that was a 0 damage amp run, I think. Snatch just unable to get any guns. And they've bled all that armor. Admittedly, they've closed the gap to 1, so they've been utilizing it, and a freebie onto Bex will tie up the map. This 100's coming up. That goes to Crush, so momentum is swinging in the way of when is Amp. Probably want to beeline over towards this belt. Keleo was there. I think he's just gone down. So it's Par all alone on the belt. Spots a couple players up by the sniper. It's up in 0 seconds. He's going to make the jump. Free belt. That's a slip up. Prioritizing the amp, maybe. Thank you, Shocks. I'll change my overlay quickly. This amp's now coming up. And it was dropped. Eventually goes the way of Keleo. He's got a minigun. Amped minigun is really strong in big open rooms. But you do need to spin it up. I think the thing a lot of people don't do with the minigun, because it has such low ammo, is spin it up early. But if you've got the amp, you may as well just hold the trigger down. Let's just take a quick look at the damage stats. As when is Amp, they've recently taken the lead. They're about 500 damage ahead. and looking very confident on this belt. Snatch just sitting on it early, asserting dominance and picking up ammo. The 100's up pretty soon as well. And blue, they are making some presents here. I'm pretty sure Pa knows when this is up. It was Olek, actually. I misclicked. But that 100's up. We'll go to Pa. See, I knew all along. Snatch still with that belt, so let's follow him. Always an explosive player to watch. Oh, but walks into Sunade's full flak. Didn't see him as he went up the bounce pad. That's a 300 damage. And that's a big shot to hit if you're Sunade, because Snatch is the player that you want to have on this amp. And he was in position to get it in about 5 seconds, but it's going to be a much weaker amp run without all that belt to back him up. Might even go down here. No, nice shock primaries, but he's missed the jump. He'll have to maybe jump off the boxes. That went to Pa, and that's kind of because Snatch missed the jump there. So Pa's got himself the belt. Sunade gets himself the amp. This is a great turnaround for Polish, but Sunade, risking it. Luckily, he has team support there, so that amp will go to the hands of Olek. He could actually pick up those boots as well. Pa has 140 health under that belt. Now make that 160. That's outrageous. Look at the stack on red, and they've just got the amp as well. This could be a big momentum shift, but they're not actually getting much damage right now. Need to capitalize. There are still 6 minutes left in this game, of course, so plenty of time, but you want to make the most of these opportunities. And Olek, I think he's running back to help with the belts, giving up that 100 armor position, prioritizing the bigger item. He's got 2 teammates here already. He's actually jumped onto the belt and gets pinged off by Snatch. There you go. Snatch will go down. Bex picks that one up. So the last 2 belts have gone to Polish, and they've brought the game back within 2. So as I said, looking like a very close matchup between these 2 teams. Pa is so stacked. How has he got so much health? There is not a keg on this map. I mean, Snatch and Crush looking pretty stacked as well. But it's all about this next amp. Pa just lost all that health. Or flaks up the bounce pad. How are these players still alive? Amp's coming up. Oh, messy enforcer fight. Alea, he has the boots. He's jumped up. Narrowly avoids that combo from behind. Oh, doesn't see the guy with the link gun. Nice 180 flak ball. And he had Crush there to back him up. Crush picks up the amp. He's got a minigun and a flak as well. So decent weapons, but just not much health to back him up. Oh, those rockets were from an enemy. They exploded right near his head. And now Crush is actually in a great position to defend this belt. Oh, the Stinger secondary wins the belt. You don't see that every day. And when is Amp? Still up by 3. 3 flak damage up the bounce pad. So playing this sniper position, you can get into a really good routine of just being up there, denying the sniper, and then doing all your damage with flak cannon as people just jump up the bounce pads. 100's up pretty soon. Looks like red have the room on lock. Or Kellyo making a move. Alea here to support as well. But I do think this 100 armor will go to Sunade. There was actually 3 players from When Is Amp going down there. A bit of a scuffed push for the 100. They are set up for the belt though. 2 players from Polish moving into contest. There were 3 there from When Is Amp, but they didn't really have the guns. Here comes Snatch with a link gun, but he's low. Kellyo's pushing him with the enforcer. Snatch actually jumps on the belt, but just misses it. It's Olek with the belt. He had 8 HP when he grabbed it. Clutch play, and they've brought the game within 1. Sunade, meanwhile, got the amp, but he's dropped it. It's now in the hands of Snatch. He got himself a 50 armor as well, so he's dangerous. Alea got 100 armor as well. Seems like every time Polish get close with the score, a lot of items go the way of When Is Amp. And Snatch, he's a deadly player with that amp, as we all know. Oh, and that's Olek, one of the stacked players, taking that amp sniper shot. That kind of neuters their push on this 100 armor room. Quickly pull up the stats for you guys. Now a little bit of a lead, up by 7. Make that 8. We were within one just 30 seconds ago. Damage starting to go the way of When Is Amp. They're moving into the belt as well. They're feeling a bit more coordinated than Polish were, and certainly more coordinated than they were earlier in the game. Snatch probably getting this belt for free. Yeah, Sunhead goes down. Belt goes to Kelio. He pushes in and dies to 2 nice combos by Bex. Bit of a waste of the amp, but still 100 armor goes uncontested to When Is Amp. They've got a bit of a frag buffer to play with, so with 2 minutes left, they can start to slow the game down a bit. This next amp is going to be really important. It's been 8 seconds. This is the last amp run where you can feasibly have a really big run, because the last amp will be literally the last 30 seconds of the game. And players tend to hide in those seconds. Crushy wants to get there, but he's dropped down. So many players. This amp is so crucial. The entire Polish lineup is sat around this link gun area, but amp eventually goes to Snatch. Gets a double kill as well. He missed that first one, unfortunately. And Snatch knows that he doesn't have to have huge impact with this amp. All he has to do is deny it from Polish, because Polish are going to really struggle to win the game without an explosive amp run. And Snatch is just burning seconds off this amp. Waiting for this 100. Oh, Sunhead kills himself on the on the wall there with the rockets pushing in. And with a minute left, it's a 12 frag score lead, the highest score lead we've seen all game. All the onus is now on Polish to make some kind of comeback, and it's getting harder and harder every second as the score lead builds. I'm not liking their chances, I'm afraid. Really close game all throughout, but just fantastic armor control by When Is Amp. Really good team coordination, pushing for the belts together, even pushing for the 100s together. It's a hard rhythm to successfully set up on this map, because those 2 items are really far apart. But if you can get a map lock, then you can do so much damage. Snatch saving the belt for his teammate. And the final amp is spawning, but the score lead is pretty huge. Bex, oh, it's like he didn't know it was up. And I think Snatch is just going to style this out with the last amp run. Ever aware when it's spawning. Spot Sunny, it's gone hunting. Oh, what a combo.
6, 5, 4.
Actually, I don't think that was a combo. I think that was just... Anyway. Really close game. It started to run away in the last couple minutes, but good showing by both teams. Very even damage on the side of Polish. No one stepping up to have quite the carry performance that Snatch had. 46 to 18. Pretty outrageous. And just those last couple minutes going over 2,000 damage ahead. On to map 2, which will be Deck. So this was Polish map pick. Deck, Snatch on Deck is dangerous, and we all know that. Crush as well, and Alea, loads of experience on Deck. Of course, a lot of the Polish players do have Deck experience, but this is not the original Polish lineup. I think Bex is a 2K4 player, might be wrong in that regard. But 2K4 players generally having less experience on Deck. Par, of course, will know the map very well, as will Oleg and Sunade. But Snatch is the ace up the sleeve of When Is Amp on this map. Basically, all you got to do with Snatch's stats is average his damage from all the other maps and then add 1,000 on, and that's what he'll do on Deck. And he'll also die half as much. Kind of unfair when you think about it. Gosh, 8 mil ping. Pretty outrageous. I think even if you DDoS Crush, you'd only go up to 12 ping. I'm anticipating a ready up any minute. Players maybe grabbing a drink or getting warmed up after last game. But I can't remember what the maps were. So next map after this will be Spacer. So we are guaranteed 3 maps because it's a best of 5. I think Polish have a really strong chance on Spacer. Again, Gangsters, which was Sunade's team in UTPL, were very strong on that map. And then the last 2 maps, if we get there, will be Nitro and Honk. Nitro as well, they have a chance. Depends if Snatch goes Supernova, of course. And Honk, to be honest, seems like it could be anyone's game. So I think all is not lost for Polish. And Polish are readied up. Just waiting on when it's out. Right, have fun. Have funs are in the chat. Game is ready. This will be map 2, of course, best of 5. So whoever wins this, we will still be going on to a 3rd map. I'm gonna switch to Bex as he picked up that shock rifle in the middle, already hitting 2 primaries. Oh, snuck from behind by Snatch. Okay, it looked like Snatch killed himself in the box there, but he was actually shot from behind. First 100 armor, of course, going to Snatch. And first boots as well, being taken 30 seconds into the game. Nobody jumping for those. Oh, dirty. And I have a feeling we might be seeing a lot more from that, like that from Snatch this game. First belt's on its way up. Snatch, so much presence at the top. Oh, actually misses a sitter of a headshot. Would have denied the belt. And Oleg unable to escape, even diving through the teleporter. Gets pincer movemented. But Polish are actually 1 frag ahead. Even though Snatch has 6 kills, Sunade also has 6 kills. We are all tied up. His first amp's up in 5 seconds, and Snatch is actually at the 100, so he's not going to get this one for free like he did so many times on Temple. It's Bex who jumps for it, hits 2 shots. That's 2 kills. Oh, what a shot! Potential for a monster here. Oh, I can't hit the last shot. Oh, close. But this is a super strong position. So many spawns around this place. Eventually flooded down by enforcers, but he's done so much damage. And Bex, oh, Crush even. Split second early on that belt. Costs him a lot of damage. What is he doing? He's actually just blown himself up. That's kind of entertaining. But despite that monster amp run from Bex, we're actually pretty close. Only a 4 frag difference. See, Crush there, he was hoping Bex would spawn at the flag. Yeah, Bex, a huge game so far. 13 kills, 1400 damage. Sunhead headshots Crush. Lots of low health players all over the map. Crush not having a good game so far. 13 deaths, 14 deaths, man. We need to follow someone else. Sometimes this happens to deck, you just cannot get a grip of the map and keeps dying to spawn frags. I'm liking the setup by Polish. They're way ahead of time on the amp, all at the top. They're giving it to Bex once again, but he's not hitting the shots quite as well as he did last time. There we go, Crush finally goes down. But Crush spawns behind him. Now it's time for Crush to abuse spawns. He's kind of walking out into the open here. There you go, decides to back off. And he's just going to burn this amp away. Uh-oh. Does feel like these teams are deciding to split the map up. And Polish to sitting around the amp 50 area. And when is amp sitting at the 100. And it seems to actually be favouring Polish a bit more. I think because they've got top control. And on this map, top control's not as important as it is in other Unreal tournaments, but you can abuse it. But look at all this armor on when is amp. This is the concern when you give up that 100 armor location. But not to worry, Polish still have control of the bell. And you see Sunny instantly, he had those boots, so he got straight back up on top. And now we can just sit it here with all that stack. You can survive for several minutes with the belt stack up here. But Crush pushing into him. Probably going to get the kill. So he's cleaned up top. And that puts Crush in great position for this amp. Although he has just dropped down. Amp is up. Oleg's going to jump onto it. He should probably drop this for a teammate. Doesn't need to. He gets dropped. And now it's Sunade with the amp. Back down to 10 HP. You may only have 10 HP with the amp, apparently. Crush walks into 3 players. And it's Bex now shredding everybody. Really messy amp run. Polish still ahead by 6 frags. Maintaining a bit of a lead here. Despite not having the 100. They're just picking off when is amp players. And getting these belts. Pretty much for free. Let's look at these stats again. Bex has 2,500 damage 5 minutes into the game. He's on course for a 7,500 damage game if he keeps up this pace. Snatch no slouch. On course for a 6k damage game. But big messy fight over the 100 armor. Maybe Polish just starting to push into this, trying to steal it as well. If you get full control on deck, you just are unstoppable for a good couple minutes. So perhaps they're trying to win that 100 armor position. But so far, still really are split across the map. Polish favouring this ramp area, controlling the top. When is amp happy to just stack up. And I mean, the game's pretty stable. And this time, Snatch has got himself onto the amp. He is getting shot in the back. Only good for 1. It's Oleg picking up the amp. And gets a 50. That's nice. I didn't see who got the belt. But it was probably Polish, given that it's a 5-1 belt scoreline. Alea picks off the amp carrier from top, but team support, as per usual, allows the amp run to continue. $100 is stolen by Sunade. I was actually about to switch to Snatch because I saw him dropping for it, but that's a new one. 10 to 300 armors in Sunade. He's just got the 3rd one for his team. Needs to watch out for this flak though. There goes all that 100. Actually might still get the kill onto Kelio here. Will do. But Kelio denied a sniper. The belt's coming up. I think Sunade knows exactly the timing on it, and he will get it. Snatch unable to hit the combo. Instead decides to just hit 3 shock primaries. But a killing speed for Sunade. What a shot with the rockets. Knowing that the only way he loses that 100 is if someone comes around that corner just at the second. Oleg as well killing Snatch. Snatch died about 4 times there in a few seconds. Again, the deck spawn's not favouring him. We're now up to almost a 20 frag lead on deck. Not what people were expecting. Definitely not what I was expecting. And we're halfway through the game. Still plenty of time to come back, especially because this amp's coming up. But looking like it will go the way of Polish once again. What's the amp time looking like? 4-1 amps. Oh, amp is dropped by a stray flak ball. And Kelio's got it. Needs to watch out though, down to 5 HP. Gets a double kill. Very much a glass cannon. If he steps in these bio blobs, he dies. Eventually he'll go down. Alea as well. Supporting, but didn't have the health to keep the amp run alive. And it's par with the final few seconds of the amp, getting some damage. So pretty split amp run, lots of deaths. Hard to say who won that. Although the scoreline is getting closer. Now only a 12 frag difference from what was about 17. I believe Snatch just got the belt. His teammate Alia got the 100. So finally, Wenizamp getting something other than 100 armor. And that's their in back into the game, stealing some of these belts and moving the center line of the map towards Polish and trying to trap them in the 50 room. Because all it will take is one big amp run to break this game wide open. It's been really static all game. Other than that first big amp run from Bex, haven't seen something too explosive. And amp is the next item up. Polished, of course, all over it already. Virtue of having this side of the map on lock. Though it's only Bex up top. And he's not too healthy. Will die to one shot. What a combo. Oh, Snatch, he snuck his way in. He got the belt. No, he got the 100 armor. Sunny gets the belt, but that belt has just been stripped off by Snatch's amp plays. Par gets away with 100 though. Oh, nearly. And this is the sort of impact that is going to rip the game wide open. Look at the score difference, down to 3. And a total reset on all the items. I think everyone on Polish went down there. Now scrambling for guns. Snatch keeping this amp run alive with those 2 health packs. Probably going to secure this 100 armor for himself as well. And that's brought the game within 2. So mission accomplished as far as Snatch is concerned. They've still got 5 minutes to make up these 2 frags. Make it 1 frag. And an unsuccessful steal attempt on the 100. Although Snatch does go down.
5-minute warning.
Damage is looking really close. Only 200 damage in it. And Snatch, of course, now leading the scoreboard. Bex's stats have fallen off a little bit. Compared to the absurd game he was having earlier. And another belt goes to Snatch. He's now got a proper grip on the items. Playing like Aiko plays, knowing when everything's up. And he's Pac-Manning them. The game's all tied up. Make that score lead from Wenizamp. They've brought this back with full force. Almost a double kill combo there for Snatch. And so much damage. Outrageous aim by the Swede. And look, he knows his amp's coming as well. It's all that TDM experience. Hilarious how Snatch literally is famous in TDM for not knowing when the amp is, but this tournament, he's really shown that that is a bit of a joke. And he's having so much impact this game. Oh man. 3 in a row. Has he missed a shot? Has he missed a shot all game? This is ridiculous. And this belt's coming up. There we go. Misses his first shot. First shot of his life. And walks into a rocket. Shield belt goes to Sun Age. But look, the score was almost plus 10 there. Total reversal of the scoreline. Although, Sun Age just got the 100 armor as well. You know, Wenizamp, they don't want to get ahead of themselves and lose track of all these items that they've been keeping on lock. It's up soon. As per usual, Wenizamp are prepped. How many hundreds has Snatch got? He's had 10 this game. Pretty huge. But I am actually liking the chances of Polish to get this next amp, especially because Bex just sniped Snatch twice, so that 100 is pretty much gone. Bex probably going to want to jump for this. He knows it's coming up. There we go. He's heard it. The shield belt was also up. Oh, he's fluffed the jump up. Kelio's getting in his face with the Enforcer. And now there's so much cover over this amp. Crush picks it up. That is so unfortunate. Eventually the amp will end up in the hands of Polish, but could have been on a player who had sniper. Bex, no slouch with the sniper. Good rocket by Oleg, though. Oh, needs to watch out. He's fallen into the grips of Snatch. In fact, decides to just suicide than rather than face Snatch in one-on-one combat. But the game's still tight. 8 frag lead by Wenizamp. 2 minutes. Still plenty can go wrong for Wenizamp. All the players lacking armor right now. Except for Bex, who's just got the 100 and 2 health packs. So he is the menace of the server right now. Scoreline is down to 6, possibly. There we go, down to 5. Good rocket. And this belt's coming up. So if Polish get this belt, then we could be seeing a very close game. Snatch, though, I think he's just dropped free. Gets knocked off and dies in the goo. Scoreline's within 3. Belt goes to Olek. 100 armor's up as well. I think Sunny's just heard it as well, so everything going the way of Polish. This is huge. Scoreline is within 1. If they can ride out this control for the rest of the game, then they have a great chance to win it. Now a 2-frag lead. Amp's coming up. For once in the game, though, Polish not at top when the Amp's on its way. Only Alia in position on the ramp, but there's people behind him. Bex actually is on the Amp. Oh, I think he's just missed the jump again. That's so unfortunate. They are still 3 frags ahead. Great shock primaries, but he's double teamed by 2 players. Oh, fantastic spawn. And the Amp will go to Bex. Oh, he's getting denied from this shot. There we go. I think he's got himself out of the situation. This is such a clutch Amp run if he can do something with it. He's just spotted Kelio. Kelio's hiding behind the box. There we go. Alia goes down. Kelio, just avoiding the shots of Bex. Alia goes down a second time. A 1-frag lead still for Polish. It was Snatch who got the Amp, though. He's just tied the game up. Or Crush tied it up, rather. Snatch taking the lead with that great headshot. 100 armor goes to Par. But with another frag, Bex, Craters looking really, really tight. They need 3 frags in 10 seconds. It's doable. They only need 2 now. But I do believe the game is pretty much secure. Oh, it's a 1-frag game. But with that last kill onto Par, we'll win the game by 2 frags. Extremely close game there. Honestly, would have liked to see Polish take that one, just to guarantee that we get more maps this series, because as it stands, that's a 2-0 for When Is Amp. And a really, really interesting deck game. I don't think I've seen a deck game for, well, forever that was that split in terms of one team happy to sit down at the 100, the other team happy to sit up top. Did get a bit messy in the end. Snatch almost single-handedly broke the game wide open with a fantastic Amp run. I do think I have a replay of Bex's first Amp run, which was pretty sick. We missed the first 2 frags, but I think we switched directly into him hitting a headshot. There's 1 frag and another one. And a sick flick headshot. Gets the ultra kill. Can't quite hit the monster kill, but there were a few frags after that. So great play by Berks. Huge stats by Berks. That was first 5-10 minutes. But just barely not enough. Biased streamer. Who am I biased for? This has the potential to be the 3rd and final map of the series. Polished already. Player's gone to the shitter. But I'm hoping this goes the way of Polish. They kind of deserve one given those 2 performances. I can only record 1 replay at a time, okay, guys? Didn't want to lose that fantastic run by Bex. I don't think we've seen a Spacer game for a little while on stream. Although that's not surprising since we've had about 4 TDM matches the past month. But much more slow-paced tactical maps, especially compared to deck. Probably polar opposites. In my book. But yeah, need to get to the belt nice and early on this map. And I feel like Polish have been showing really good team coordination. Slightly better than When Is Amp, although that's debatable. I think When Is Amp, they seem to have more longevity than the Polish lineup in the game. Polish, they've had great team play, especially on deck, for the majority of the game, but then when Izamp, they somehow break the game wide open, usually something to do with the Snatch hitting every shot ever. But then Polish, they're struggling to get back into the groove of things, and then that's when Izamp kind of take over. Will be interesting to see what happens on this map, because Spacer, if you lose control on Spacer, it's really hard to get it back. You just always feel like you're 3 or 4 seconds behind the other team, getting to the shield belt late, then getting up to the amp late. It's always horrible when you're going up the jump pad at flak, and the amp is spawning as you take the jump pad, because you just know that there's people jumping for it already, and you're just like 2 seconds behind. Anyway, just waiting for Alea to relieve himself. Alea drops the sorry kid in chat. Outrageous scene. All caps, no less. Right, hopefully a ready up will happen shortly. Olet says go. There we go, ready's up in the chat. On to what could be the last map of the series, unless Polish can clutch this. I feel like they deserve one now. And I definitely want to see more between these two teams based on how close those first 2 maps were. Really exciting finale to deck, but enough about deck. On to Spacer. Oh, that was nearly a kill with that flak ball. Good start by Crush. Instant 100 damage. And it's a noodle fight down low with the link guns. 5-1. Wake score lead by Snatch and Co. This is a really crucial area on this map. You can kind of just stick around here sometimes. Spacer used to be a map where lots of players would split up. You typically have 1 or 2 players sniper, but I think people more and more are realizing that there are, 5 or 6 by default periods of time in the game where you can just sit in the 100 armor room because nothing else will be up. Looks like Bex will get this belt though. Actually pushes in to take down Snatch, but he's given up position. Kelio's running there, he goes down. Oh, the belt is stolen. No, not stolen. I thought Bex had it swiped from underneath him, but it was a teammate who took it. Snatch gets the 100 though, so trade on the major armors. I don't know if that was lag or Sunny just has the lowest sensitivity in the game. And Amp goes to Sunny. They had 4 players around here. He's also got a sniper. I don't think we've seen a Sunny and Amp run yet. Might be wrong. But looks like we might not for a little while. There we go. He's finally seen someone. He does have 1 boot charge. But instead he's opting, you see how he's using this amp to secure the entryways to the belt? So the impact that this amp run has is securing the belt. Unfortunately, just didn't have the damage to back up the belt play. If he had a couple of seconds more of link spam into that hallway, then that could have been so much damage off the amp, but unable to get that. And Bex, with this 100 armor and no gun, is probably going down here. Yep. And this is one of those 30-second periods that I was talking about where you take the 100 armor and then the next item that's important that's up is the 100 armor. So you may as well just stay in the 100 armor room. Messy fight. I think Power has won himself. No, we'll go to Bex. Fortunately, we missed that air rocket. But look, the game's all tied pretty much. That 5-1 start has evaporated. Bex, oh, hits a nice juicy rocket. That's 2 players from when his amp losing position on this amp. And Snatch knocked off as well. So it looks like we'll probably go to Bex. Needs to get away from Snatch because he's got a sniper. There we go. Bex picks up the sniper. He's suddenly the most dangerous person in the server, but he gets headshot. That's so much overkill because he didn't actually have the health to deliver body shot. Oh, man. Sucks to be Power in that situation. Amp and 2 highly armored players for when is Amp. I believe they got the latest 100 armor. But not many players from Polish showing themselves. Normally on Spacer, you can have hugely impactful Amp runs because it is so open, especially when you have the boots, which Snatch did have. But you can get, you know, 6-7 kills off a run. People just present themselves. 300 armor for Snatch. And a killing spree. This belt's coming up. Bex is there ahead of time. Let's follow him. Denying the doorway from Snatch. Hits 3 nice shot primaries, but Snatch is so stacked. And Bex is 1v3. How is he alive? This is outrageous. Oh man, he deserved that belt. Absolutely deserved that belt. But just didn't have the teammates to back him up there. They were a bit delayed. I don't know why, because nothing else was spawning. Maybe a slight slip up in communication. Oh. Filthy headshots all day today. Bex, between Bex and Snatch, we've seen some bangers. And is another heavily contested amp. That combo knocked Sunny down into the hole. Snatch is missing shots uncharacteristically. He's down to 13 health. Ultimate glass cannon amp. But he always knows when the health though. And I think he's just got this 100 for free. So crisis averted. Could have gone down there. And this amp run is now back in business. And once again, using the amp to defend the hallways. Of course, fuck's sake. Of course, as soon as I say that, as soon as I point out the nice play that Snatch is making to defend the belt for his team while they pick it up behind him, he just gets insta-bioed. But the point I was trying to make there was that he knows that by securing the hallway with the amp, he basically guarantees the belt for his team. And they've just picked up another 100. They're now 15 points ahead. Quite a big lead. Certainly the biggest lead we've seen this early in a game out of the previous 3. So Polished maybe will be glancing at the score and getting a bit worried. They know they're a match point. They know that they could be 1-1 right now if it weren't for just a couple of frags last game. And nerves might start to rise. Of course, this is an elimination game. It's in the lower bracket, so if they lose this game, they're out the tournament. No chance to win any of that sweet cryptocurrency or whatever bullshit is the prize this time around. Belt goes to Crush. Sunny gets an amp, but he had about -1 health when he picked that up. And once again, amp in the hands of Snatch. What a shot! Outrageous. And every time he nearly goes down with the amp, he's got health to pick up. And keep the amp run alive. Look at this. Just everywhere he walks, things spawn. Oh, I think he did just get double sniped there. What was that? Good player to switch to. I think Olek, he's here for this belt. I can hear someone charging rockets off screen though, so he needs to watch his right side. Snatch is coming in from the side. Snatch is just omni-fucking present on this map. It's outrageous. Does get headshot in an extremely clutch manner. Belt is still up. Eventually we'll go to Crush anyway. And the scoreline is starting to get a bit scary. We're now almost exactly halfway through the game. 20 frag score lead. Looking a bit dangerous. This was roughly the score lead we saw that Polish had last time on deck. But bear in mind, they were the team that lost the score lead. And now they're the team that are trying to chase it. Amp's on its way. Snatch in position. There's a failed jump by Olek, but Snatch has jumped into the lion's den. Sunnade's there with the pickup. Does hit that shot. Thought he didn't see Kellyo somehow, but it's just setting up for the flick. And Amped minigun is so brutal. He's taken a ton of damage though. Luckily, Health is available for him. Alea pushes into him, actually gets the kill. That's really rough because this belt's coming up, and that essentially guarantees that Snatch will get this belt. Very unfortunate. One more shot with that amped minigun would have taken down Alea before he got the frag. And the scoreline starting to get out of hand. Just pull up these stats for you to look at. Damage actually surprisingly close for a game that looks a bit one-sided, honestly. But amp time going the way of When Is Amp, and belts, crucially, 7-1 belts. That's the difference. And I thought Polish would be strong contenders on all these belt fights as a reasonably tactical side. But they're just not showing up for them. They've had a couple of clutch moments where they really probably deserved the belt, but most of those were off the back of individual plays rather than team setup. Now, belt is coming up and they have a player down there. Almost guaranteed, because almost everyone on When Is Amp are ready for this amp. Snatcher, of course, will be the default player to take that. Just seen one player run up top. Oleg goes down, gives up a free one. And Snatch has just heard a spawn here. There we go, a patient sniper onto Burks. And these amp runs from When Is Amp, they don't actually have to be that impactful. Snatch gets headshot by Par. And Par is uber stacked. This is huge, but he's just eating a rocket from the side. Does win his teammate 100 armor with a bit of support, though. So possibility to start turning this game around. Let's follow Bex. He's the 100 armor player. Snatch has spawned in front of him, but popped up into the air by a rocket. Another nice one from Snatch. How has he managed to get that kill? It's so hard to kill people uphill with a rocket launcher. Now, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. On the belt. Polish, they're ahead of time, but they've just melted, all of them. No one's sitting on the belt. They had players pushing out to defend the doors, but unable to actually hold the belt, and spawned behind them, and then they all died. We'll go the way of Crush. 15 frag lead, we're seeing. It is slowly diminishing, but there are only 4 minutes left in this game. Not too many amp runs available. Nice try, Bex. Amp's on its way up. Uh-oh. Snatch with the pickup. I mean, Polish were in position there. They had 2 players at the sniper, I think, but Snatch gets away with it again. How is he living? And Oleg gives up another free one. Contesting amps when maybe you shouldn't. I mean, it can be tempting if you know the amp carrier is low, and did eventually go the way of Polish. But scoreline back up to 18. And I think they're late for the belt. Nope, they are already on the belt. I take it back. This 100 armor's up. Or stolen by Crush. If they'd had that, then it could have been huge. And Crush doing so much damage to the belt player. That last 100... Well, giving up that last 100 is a bit of a waste of an opportunity, to be honest. Crush... knowing exactly when it was spawning and jumped in to swipe it. And the score lead's now over 20. 3 minutes left, looking pretty dire. And you got to wonder about the resolve on the side of Polish. Maybe feeling a bit aggrieved that they lost last map in such close fashion. And now that this one is not going the way they wanted.
3 minutes remain.
Big reset on the damage. I noticed a lot of players on When Is Amp were low there, so possibility for, 3 players on When Is Amp goes down, and that's ahead of the belt and the amp, so this could be huge. They get this amp, there's going to be a lot of spawn health players to shoot. Bex is in a really good position, but he's just lost so much health. There we go, amp goes to Oleg. Snatch is contesting with the Enforcer. That's the kind of thing you can do with the 20 frag lead. And the belt went to Sunade, so they've got all the stuff they need to start mounting what would be a miracle comeback to keep them alive in the tournament. Oh, but Oleg is getting flooded by players that have just too much stack to melt with a link gun. And it's Crush to carry out the remaining few seconds of this amp run. 2 minutes remaining. The damage lead is mounting as well. Polish have slowly eaten into the belt lead that when his amp had. But it might have been too little too late. As another 100 armor goes to Znatch. And another 3 shield belt goes to Alia, pretty much uncontested. He had teammates holding the doors. And he moves into backstab Oleg. And you see that they're set up they're pretty stacked and they're set up early for this amp. Trading guns, you see, okay, they've given Alia the sniper because he's stacked and they want him to have the amp run. I really like that, but he's just jumped away. Very odd. Yeah, I think he'll jump for it now. There we go. So, some nice team play by Wen's amp. Guaranteeing themselves. Oh, what a shot! A 180 headshot. Potential for a couple more here. Good decision to give Alia the sniper for this amp run. And they're gonna waltz onto this last belt. They're now 30 frags in the lead. Dominant performance on this map. Looking very confident. And it's a bit of a shame. I really wish Polish had taken that second map so we could see a fourth now. But was not to be. We're cursed with another 3 mapper with pretty close maps overall. You see, even with 14 seconds left, Snatch willing to hold this, willing to hold the 100 armor for a teammate and drop them a gun. And there you have it. Map 3 goes the way of Wen's amp, as did the first 2, so they walk away with a 3-0 victory, although that does kind of betray how close the first 2 games were. Temple got a little bit out of hand in the last couple of minutes, but Deck was close right until the end, and really back and forth. Really interesting Deck game as well. I'm afraid that is all I have to bring to you today. And we're left with only 3 matches left in the tournament. We have L7 versus 4 aces in the winner bracket final. Whoever loses that, spoiler, it'll be L7. Whoever loses that will go on to play Wen's amp, who've just earned themselves a spot in the lower bracket final. Anyway, I am starving. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm gonna go. And avoid all the accusations of heavy bias that are being leveled at me in the chat. Anyway, do you have a replay? I think this is Alia's meaty headshot that he hits here. Picks one out of the sky. And then a nice headshot onto Bex. And I think there's one more. There we go. Using up the last of his ammo. Styling out the last few minutes of Spacer. Anyway. Thank you all very much for watching. I will be back next year with the next game at this rate. Hoping for a strong finish. Some good finals. All finals left. Winner bracket, lower bracket, and grand final. In fact, this tournament's run so slowly that the lower bracket final from final team from the lower bracket is actually ready before the upper bracket final loser. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking bullshit. Thank you all very much for watching. Tune in next time.